Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to reveal this new series that I was thinking about over the weekend, and that is what can we learn about life or in life about road signs? And I'm going to go every day until I run out of ideas or I run out of inspiration from roadsides. Maybe I'll even go to international road signs, but right now I'm focusing on the road signs that we are familiar with here in the United States. And one of the things about this weekend that I was thinking about this is taking something common or something familiar that we already have an understanding of and just maybe talk about something in a different way, something that we can see or learn something from something that is common and familiar, but looking at it in an uncommon way or an unfamiliar way or a way that we've never really seen that kind of comparison. And that's what I want to talk about today on the second. So this is the first video. I did a post yesterday, and I'm going to switch probably between posts and videos every other day. Yesterday, I talked about proceed with caution because you never know what somebody's going through. And it was on a Monday. So sometimes Mondays can represent somebody's brand new career, or they got a raise, or they started a new job, or they opened up a new company. But Mondays are also a reminder to some folks about how they hate their job. They hate their boss. They hate that cubicle that they're working in that just sucks the life out of them. So the whole purpose about yesterday's road sign, which again was proceed with caution, is you never know what someone's going through. So be open to being able to just give them a hug, give them a good word, speak some life into them, or just listen to them rant. Well, today we're going to be talking about a sign, and I want you to look at the sign in a different way. And that sign is that no U-turn. We see no U-turn signs on the road all the time. And what are they there for? They are there to keep traffic flowing, to avoid accidents, and to have everything run smoothly. And for the people that pay attention to the sign, there's people that, and I've been guilty of this, where you look around, there's obviously a posted no U-turn sign. You look around, the coast is clear, there's no cops, and you do it anyway. I wouldn't advise that because it's only a matter of time before you can cheat and cheat and cheat and not get caught. And then boom, you're going to see somebody, or there's going to be somebody watching you that they're in an unmarked car, and you're going to get busted for doing something you shouldn't have done. Well, that applies to the road. Again, something we're familiar with. We've all seen that sign before. But how does that apply to life? Well, it really doesn't, because there are no U-turn signs in life. If you are going down a dead-end road, by all means, put it in reverse and make a U-turn, my friends, or keep it in drive and just slow down and go the opposite direction. Change your course. No U-turn signs do not, and I repeat, do not apply to life. And I'm going to give you a few examples of where people just ignored the no U-turn signs that were told to them by friends, people who love them. And usually the people that love you the most are going to be the ones that hold you back the most, because they don't see what you're doing as ending up in a good way. They don't see what you're doing because they've never done it before. So they have no frame of reference. So they want to stop you from making a mistake. People that we love and care about the most are notorious. And I say again, notorious for holding us back from our dreams, because maybe they can't see it, but it wasn't their vision. It was your vision. If you can see it, and Napoleon Hill has a famous quote that says, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Well, maybe someone doesn't have your vision because it wasn't their vision to have. They have their own visions. But sometimes when you tell your vision to people, they just don't get it. And they will tell you, no, it's not the right time for a career change. You're 45 years old. You're 55 years old. You're 64 and a half. You're ready to retire. Are you crazy? What are you thinking about going in a different direction for? And they mean well. They do. They mean well, but they don't have your vision. So let me give you a few examples. There was a man by the name of Harland Sanders, dropped out of school at the age of 12. So in 7th grade, dropped out of school, did just crazy jobs all the way up until when he was 40. He even became a lawyer, and then his first client fired him, so he stopped being a lawyer. So he started working at a gas station at the age of 40. And he had an idea. There was an apartment next to the gas station. He had an idea of opening up a small restaurant in the apartment next to the gas station. And he did. Well, the interesting thing about that is 22 years later, he opened up his first Kentucky Fried Chicken. Harlan Sanders, we also know him as Colonel Sanders because that small restaurant that he opened in an apartment next to the gas station that he was working at had some great chicken recipe. He made his own chicken recipe, those whatever 35 secret spices or whatever it was, and he tried to market it. He tried to sell it. He tried to go to restaurants that were already open and have them buy his fried chicken recipe. Everyone turned him down. So he decided to open up his first one. And at the age of 62, Arland Colonel Sanders opened up his first Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. And now there's over 19,000 of them in over 100 countries around the world. And it's worth $5 billion. And he did it at the age of 62. Pretty freaking crazy, right? Unbelievable. Well, here's something else. Have you ever heard of Grandma Moses? Grandma Moses was raised she lived to be 101 years old, by the way. She was, as a child, raised on a farm. Her dad was a farmer. She left home at the age of 12 to go work at a neighboring farm. And one of the things that she did as a hobby, she would take lemon juice and lime juice and mix it with grass and dirt and sawdust and make paints and paint on white pieces of paper that her dad bought her that cost a penny each. And she said it would last longer than all her candy, because she would just paint and paint. Well, as she got into life and started getting jobs and got married and had kids, that just went by the wayside until she was 78 years old and decided, you know what, I need something to occupy my time. So she started painting again. Well, in 20 plus years, she painted over 1,500 paintings. They started selling for $3, $5. And as her fame started to grow, they started selling for more. And at the height of her career, $8,000 to $10,000 a piece she was selling her paintings from. And on the cover of Time magazine in 1953, one of her paintings made the cover of Time magazine. She didn't even really start painting and picking up that childhood dream until she was 78. And she lived to be 101. And one of her paintings sold at Christie's auction for $1.2 million. And she started becoming a painter at the age of 78. Well, how about, whoever heard of the name Ray Kroc? Maybe not. Well, when Ray Kroc got out of the military after World War I, he wanted to start a restaurant. And he looked around, he looked around, he looked around, and he found this little hamburger stand with these two guys, these two brothers, their last name was McDonald. And he tried to convince them to systematize their restaurant and expand their restaurants and duplicate their restaurants. Well, they really weren't on board. So he became a partner of theirs and decided to take that vision, that idea that he and he alone had, despite all the people telling him he was crazy. Well, guess what? That one hamburger stand that he systematized with the two brothers with the last name McDonald ultimately bought them out. And it's McDonald's. It's probably the most famous franchise around the world. The Golden Arches started with a dream. Now, all of his friends and his family and his loved ones and his associates and other business partners, they all told him he was crazy. It would never work. Well, who had the last laugh there, right? Pretty freaking amazing. Well, I want to share another example with you. And what is her name? Her name is Gladys Burrill. Gladys Burrill was the first woman she was the oldest woman to complete a marathon. Her first marathon she did at the age of 86. Ran up 26.2 miles at the age of 86 because she put her mind to it. So again, no U-turns, bullcrap. There is no U-turns in life except the ones you accept. Now on the road, you better obey them. You should, because you're going to get a ticket. You're going to see those woo flashing lights behind you, pull over, you're going to get written up. Do not ignore the no U-turn signs on the road. But I'm giving you the idea right now. If you have a vision in your head and people tell you no, forget them. Follow your own dream. It says clearly in scripture it's Matthew 7:7, ask and you will receive. Knock and the door will be open to you. Seek and you will find. So whatever it is, and again, Napoleon Hill, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Your mind. It doesn't matter if anyone else is on board with it. They can't see it. Because let me share something with you about the construction industry. Let's think about commercial buildings. You ever seen a hotel being built? You ever seen a big commercial building being built? What is that structure on the outside of the building that's temporary? It's a structure that allows the people that are building the building to work on the outside. It's called scaffolding, right? But when the building is complete, the scaffolding comes down. Why am I giving you that as a reference? Because buildings are meant to be permanent, but the structures that allow you to build the buildings are meant to be temporary. How does that relate to this story where you have people in your life that are scaffolding people, and you have people in your life that are building people, meaning they are meant to be there because they, even though they may not see your vision, they support you in yours. The people that are the scaffolding type people that aren't meant to be in your life long term because they're just not going where you're going, they can't see what you see, and that's okay. You can still love them. You can still have a great relationship with them. It's just going to be temporary, and it's going to be intermittent. Whereas the people that you work with on a daily basis or on a regular basis, those are the people that are in your camp. Those are the people that see your vision. Those are the people that are supporting you in the no U-turn, ignoring that no U-turn sign. Go for it. You've got the vision. Go for it. And they support you in it. There are scaffolding people in your life and there are building people in your life. Let the scaffolding people go, love them, support them, say hi to them, embrace them when you see them, go to the barbecue and have a drink with them every once in a while. They're just not meant to be in your life long term or on a regular basis because they just don't see what you see. They don't have the vision. They can't see it. They can't support it. And they may be even very critical of it. And they may be telling you, no, follow the no U-turn sign. There are no U-turns. Keep going. It'll get better. Just keep working harder. Go in earlier, stay later, and you'll probably get the raise and everything will be okay. Love them, thank them for their opinion, and ignore that sign. Pump the brakes, hit the gas, do it. Even do a donut if you want and go the opposite direction. Feel free to go at it with enthusiasm, with zeal, but follow some resources. One is your own mindset. If you've seen it, if you can see it, and you can, which means you can conceive it and you believe you can do it, it'll happen for you. It'll manifest. Find the people that are on board with you. Find the people that are the building people and dismiss the scaffolding people because they just don't see what you see and they're not going where you're going. And find some people that support you and love you and encourage you. And maybe they're few and far between, but when you find one and they see your vision, bring them on your bus. By the way, there's a great book called The Energy Bus. I would really encourage you to read it by John Gordon. It kind of talks about this thing. Get the people on your bus. You're the driver of the bus, but if there's people on your bus that are going in the same direction, they're encouraging you, they'll be there when you're having a bad day. Those are the kind of people that you need. And then look for resources. There are things that you can do for free to help you start your business or write that book or sign up for that marathon, whatever it is for you, whatever your U-turn means for you, go for it, especially now. Because right now there's more and more people that are allowing their dreams and their visions to get stolen by someone else or get talked out of it by someone else. And here's something interesting. I read a story about a lady that was a hospice nurse. She helped people, thousands of people in her 30 plus years of being a hospice nurse to transfer from the living side to the afterlife. And she talked to them. She got to know them. She interviewed them. And one common denominator in almost all of them was regret, but not the things that they did. The biggest regrets were the things they did not do. The things where they paid attention to the no U-turn signs, or they paid attention to the people who said, no, that's probably not a good idea. Well-intending people, but they listened despite the vision they had in their head. So if you've got the vision, first of all, God would never give you a vision and allow you to have the vision unless it was able to be manifested. But the thing is we talk ourselves out of it because we can't do it. The last thing I want to share with you is my wife, Marcy, my amazing wife, Marcy, at the age of 50 years old. To celebrate her 50th birthday, guess what we did? We jumped out of a perfectly good airplane at 18,000 feet. We paid extra for the additional 8,000 feet over Moab, Utah. One of the most amazing experiences of my life and a way to celebrate her 50th birthday. Well, she also competed in her first triathlon at 52 earlier this year. That wasn't enough. She just finished as a part of a relay team, a half Ironman a couple weeks ago. So because she was listening to her heart, she was following the vision. She was around people. I supported her all the time. Now, did I think she could do it? Of course I thought she could do it because she could do anything she sets her mind to, and so can you. So find the people that support you when you want to make a U-turn. Find the people that believe in you when you want to make a U-turn. Find the people that are in your camp that are part of the building, not the scaffolding. They're on your bus. They're on your team, and go for it. because you can. So ignore all the no U-turn signs in life, but pay attention to the ones on the road. Be safe, my friends. Have a wonderful day. Take care, and God bless.